Hey guys, welcome back to my apartment. And today on Get on the Floor, I am building a really cool mid-century inspired hallway shoe storage box. I have way too many shoes and not enough places to put them, and I don't want to sacrifice fashion for function, so I need to build some function into my apartment so I can keep my fashion. This project is a little bit more involved. It does require buying a big piece of wood and having it cut at the hardware store and then making some additional small cuts on your own. It's all feasible. I did it right here in my apartment. I have some links to some videos below that show you how I did certain things like cutting it and staining it and how do I manage to do all that stuff right here in my apartment. But you can do it. It's simple. If you want to invest some time into doing something on your own, trust me, you can do it. Just follow along, watch the entire video, watch it a few times, and you can do this. Let's go. Alright, let's do this. Wearing protective gloves and starting with our bottom board that is 12 inches by 32 inches, I'm going to screw in the first side panel of my cabinet. I've already pre-drilled 3 pilot holes for my 2-inch screws so that I don't split the plywood in the process. I'm using brass colored screws because they pretty. Next, I'll take the side panel and do the exact same thing to the other side. Alright, it's starting to take shape. Now let's flip it on its side so that we can attach the front and back panels with another 3 screws on each side. Again, be sure to pre-drill the holes first to avoid splitting the wood. Flip it around to the opposite end so that we can secure the front panel. And you know the drill. Okay, bad joke. 3 screws on each side, y'all. Flip it over to the bottom to give our baby some legs to stand on. I picked up a set of 4 furniture leg mounting brackets from my local hardware store along with 4 tapered furniture legs with screw assemblies. I'll mount each bracket at the very edge of each corner. You can probably measure this out, but yeah, I didn't. Still with me? Now we want our box to be smoother than a glass sculpture of Barry White. To achieve this level of smoothness, I'm using a rotary sander and starting with 120 grit sandpaper attached. Sand all surfaces until relatively smooth to touch. Smooth, baby, smooth. Finally, we'll finish this off with 220 grit sandpaper. Sand all sides once again until smooth and splinter free. Once you've completed that, clean off the dust thoroughly. Great. Now for the top bench seat. Sand that down in the same fashion, 120, then finish with the 220 grit sandpaper. Okay, pick the ugliest side of your seat to be the bottom, and on each corner measure out 3/4 of an inch from each side of the board and draw a line with a pencil. These lines will serve as a guide to place our seat securing plates. I have 4 small 1/4 inch rectangles that I cut out of 2-inch trim panel. Doesn't really matter how short you cut these pieces as long as the cuts are straight. Apply 2 small strips of wood glue to each of the 4 pieces and place slightly inside each of the markers you made on each corner. Each of these 4 corners will serve to keep the top from sliding around when in place. Now, using some clamps of any kind, apply some pressure to each of the plates and leave for at least 20 minutes. Okay, once they've dried completely, drill a 1/2-inch screw into the middle of each plate for some added security. I'm using self-drilling screws. Now for the finishing trim for our seat. I've cut 2 2.5 by 11-inch pieces for the sides and 1 32-inch by 2.5-inch piece for the back. I'll secure them to the edges of the seat with a thin strip of wood glue and let dry. I use some clamps to apply pressure. check this out. It's actually starting to look like something. Now we need the supports for the middle shelf. I'm going to measure a line 6 inches from the bottom on all sides as a guide for positioning my shelf supports. I chose 6 inches because my high tops are about that tall, but you know, do you. For my supports, I've cut some leftover plywood into 1 inch by 3 inch pieces. I've secured these to my box using a thin strip of wood glue. I thought I'd screw them in as well, but that proved to be too much work and, you know, I just didn't do that. Once they've all dried, take your vacuum and give the inside a little sucky suck. Excuse me. Now, let's grab our shelf and see if it fits. And it does! Phew! Great. That would have been embarrassing. Now to complete the picture, let's put on the top. No, that wasn't magic, I just stained it. If you want to see how I did this in my apartment without poisoning myself or ruining my floors, click the link below in the description for a little how-to video. And now to set up my entryway with my new little 50s inspired friend. There you have it, a beautiful mid-century inspired shoe storage bench for your hallway. I hope you give it a try. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. I hope you really like it and I hope you give it a try. It's really not that hard, but if you do like it, hit the subscribe button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks guys, see you next time.